It's been a while since I've been on one of our webinars. I'm here with Dotan. He is head of product. We are excited to be able to show you the new Vendoroo. We call it the app. So your extension, as you guys have all kind of known that you've been working with here. And we're really excited to show you the new product release. So we're just going to give it another minute or two here. Everybody kind of come in, and we're really excited for today's webinar. This is going to be one of those ones I think we're all going to look back on and be like, wow, my life just got a whole bunch easier. That's what we aim to do here. So excited for this one. So seeing the participants are filling up in the queue. So Dotan, we'll just give it one more minute here before we kind of get going. We'll get rocking and rolling here. All right. Yes. Hello, everyone. All right. Hello. Excited for you to join us here today.
I think we have Bill here. Say hi in the chat. Hope we can invite you to the stage later to share a little bit of your experience.
Awesome. Hello, Bill. Cool. Awesome. Bill is here. Excellent. All right. So cool. Let's go ahead and we're going to hey, Brian. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Excited to have you here to check out the new Vendoroo tool. All right. Well, cool. Let's jump into it here. So again, I'm David. Pleasure to meet everyone. For a lot of you I've already kind of met before. I've built great relationships with you. Chief PM here over at Vendoroo, along with Dotan, head of our product guys, who's helping delivering some of these amazing tools that we are all using in our property management life. But this one is really kind of special to us. This specific product launch that we're talking about here today, I think for a lot of you, you're going to see it really as the connection, right? The connection between your AI teammates that, as we're all evolving in this new AI industry, we're all learning how to work with and manage our AI teammates. And this is what Vendoroo is all about, to be able to help bridge that connection and also solve some historic pain points. And as a property manager, as many as you know, I started off just like many of you, building a property management company up here in the New England area. Started off with 80 doors. We ended up with about 600 doors before moving on to some other really exciting projects that I got to work with in the asset space. So Dotan, why don't we get into it, get to the next slide, and let's talk about what we're going to be showing here. So on the agenda here today, some of the highlights that we're going to be discussing. So number one, a great maintenance coordinator should be proactive at providing you with information. So there's no more hunting for updates, right? We call it work order deep diving. Over the 20 years that I've been in this industry, I can't even begin to tell you how many hours, and I know many of you are in the same position, that we've spent digging through notes and pictures and statuses to try to find out what's going on in the work order, and then to assemble those in some type of a structure to be able to share with, our managers or, with our owners. Another one here is, all of our, communications and media is scrambled all over these, different sections of our PMS systems, and phone calls are happening outside of our network, and so now we're able to consolidate that all into really one cool place, which is great. And then if we go back on the side real quick, okay, I guess we're going to jump forward. So when we're looking, so resolve escalations, so that when we have our AI coordinator is talking to us, right, better visibility into having those escalations right there in our hand and then we have the Chrome extension and the mobile on the go. So we all know, for a lot of you that you're out there on the road, this is really going to be a great tool. And then in addition to that, the way that it's looking as far as your Google Chrome extension that's sitting on top of your PMS, to be able to see where you're at inside of the work order and give you real-time information is really exciting. So that's kind of the initial agenda here. So we're going to jump in and actually show you guys the Vendoroo new mobile on the go app and extension. And I'm just going to highlight some of the things to me that are the most exciting. As a person that was dealing with maintenance coordinators all the time, I'm constantly was sending them, messages. Hey, where are we at on this? Where are we at on this? Where are we at on this? Can you give me photos on that? Right. So one of the cool things about it is right off the bat, we should always be able to know exactly where work order is at right now. Okay. So we have the defined stages, and we have the exact, status of what that work order is, which is really cool for us to see on the go what's happening. And then, they'll show you some cool features about being able to hover over and see what's going on here. I always want to know what's going on with communications, which is really cool. So if I go to my comms tab, I have the ability now to have all of my communications broken out, between, the vendor, the resident, and the owner and even the property manager. So it's organizing all these communications for me so I can really get a good understanding of the flows here. And then, if there was any phone calls or any things along that line, you'll be seeing it here soon. The actual phone call that was happened is going to be pulled up into here for you. Media, let's organize all the media, all the documents. Let's put it into one place where it's really easy for you to view and to have real quick insights into what's going on with the job. And then, we have our escalations up top, which is fantastic. If the AI is reaching out to us and saying, hey, I need your help on something. And then at the end of the day, the deep dive feature, which is going to be a great tool for all of you guys to be able to see just such a in-depth level of understanding of what's taking place on the work order, from, delays and vendor performance and resident feedback instead of it. So when I think about the way that I would want an expert maintenance coordinator prepare information and organize information for me, this is what we're trying to achieve here and helping you guys get connected with your AI teammates. And so I haven't stopped playing with it. It's been my favorite tool. I'm using it constantly all the time. We hope the same for you guys, to eliminate the need for work order diving, with the goal is it should be answering all your questions for you before you need to ask the question, right? That's really the standard that we're trying to achieve here through this great product release. So enough about why I'm excited about it. I'm going to turn it over to Dotan, and we're going to get into the technical aspects of this great tool. And so Dotan, if you could walk us through.
Sure. Thanks, David. Hi, everyone. So in the next few minutes, I want to show you what we had in mind when designing this, and the value that each of the little pieces of this app actually provides, really to get you up to speed so you can be a pro. And in half an hour from now, you can start working with this and making it really your daily tool for getting work orders moving forward and knowing what's going on. So we're gonna go through some examples of work orders and just look at the different aspects and how it's reflected on the app. Right now we're looking at the app the same way you're gonna see it on your mobile, or if you want a desktop. In a moment we'll also transition to the Chrome extension view on top of the PMS. So first of all, when I'm looking at a work order, the first thing that I actually might, if I'm not fully sure what this work order is about, it's right here. Okay, so this one is about appliance repair dishwasher. Very simple, but sometimes, it takes even a minute to figure out what this is about. So now it's just in front of you, and the address is there, of course. And then I have the status. The status is there to show you exactly what is the next step, what's coming up, what needs to happen now. And then we have the progress bar. It's a visual progress bar that really gives you an instant view into what's going on. And we can look from the present or future into the past. If you move your mouse or on mobile, if you just tap those icons, you will see the summary of this stage, right? So immediately you get information about what's coming up, what's holding it right now, what's delaying it. So instantly, without even having to browse through different screens and different parts of the system, everything is here. The date of this last update is here as well. On mobile, you might have to tap the date to see the time, just to save some screen space, but you can go back and see the whole process from start to finish at a glance immediately. So we see exactly what was going on, and we see that right now we're pending completion confirmation about this work order. So the appointment occurred based on the schedule, but we're still waiting. We're waiting a vendor or resident to confirm. So what's really going on here? If I do want to go deep dive on this, I click on deep dive. And here, under progress, I will see that the follow-up message was sent, right? And no response received. But the next steps include escalation if there's no response within the SLA. So everything is very clear, like what's holding it back. Everything is clear around here. I can dive even deeper and see if the vendor performed as expected, right? And I can check if there's any specific tenant sentiment that I need to be aware of. We'll see some other examples later. So everything is here in one click away to know what's going on. Then in the comms tab, that's where all of the communication, like David described, all the communication between us and the vendor, or between your RU and the tenant, everything is here. So you have the vendor, you have the tenant, the resident, sometimes the owner, if there's other communication subscription here. And we can really browse and see everything. And sometimes there's, here, for example, the resident sent the RU an attachment, right? So we can preview the attachment, the file that was sent during the troubleshooting phase, and everything is here by laid out by the time, so you can see the full timeline of communication with the resident and the vendor. But if you don't want to scroll through to find all the pictures and videos, they're all organized in one place. So you can go to the media tab and see everything that was submitted initially or was collected from the resident later on, or even the invoice that the vendor submitted later on. So all the media, all the files are organized in one place. You can easily, on the phone, you can also swipe left and right with your finger, and it gets you everything in one place. Very, very simple, very fast, and you can download it if you want to your computer, to your phone, and use it anywhere. So let's go and see. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to send them to the chat, and we'll be happy to answer as we go. We are very, very flexible here. I'm going to change my view to the PMS view. In this case, we are just going to visit AppFolio for Bill, who's going to come on stage then. And on your PMS, whatever PMS you use, whenever you go to a work order that is coordinated by Vendoroo, you will see this little Vendoroo icon on the bottom right. And when you click on it, then the extension starts, right? So the extension starts, and it knows it is aware of the work order that you're seeing right now. So this one, if you look on the left side of the portfolio and you try to figure out what's going on, you will at some point, right? But it takes time because you will have to go through the chats, the emails, the messages, the notes. Everything is in different places, and it's quite hard to realize what's going on. But on the right side, you see that it's in scheduling, and actually the vendor accepted the job. Appointment time is being coordinated with the resident. So that's where it is right now. Super simple. That's what it's about. Any media was collected. Yeah, I can see it here. It's all here. So there was also additional media collected during troubleshooting. So everything is super simple within a click or two, just available to you anytime. And remember, this is available in the mobile as well. Now, I can also use the good old PMRoo chat that is also getting a lot of upgrades soon, and just ask things like, is the tenant happy? Right? I have no idea. I didn't try this question on this work order, so we'll see together. All right. Calm. Not a huge deal. Okay, I got what I want. Great. Awesome. Now, one cool thing about this new Chrome extension, and I'm going to answer all the questions from the chat in a moment, is that if you navigate to a different work order, if you navigate to a different work order, the app, the Chrome extension basically knows that you're in a different work order and clears the chat and gives you a fresh view of this work order. But if you go back to the work order where you had a chat, the chat is there, right? So it remembers your chats on each work order. You can always go back. The chat history is there. One more thing, another way to browse through your previous chats is through the menu. On the menu here, you can find your work orders and navigate to them, or you can see your previous chats and navigate to them directly. Very simple, right? Cool. Now let's look at the questions. David, some of them might be for me, some of them might be for you. Where can we get the app? All right, important one. So to get the app on your mobile or desktop, that is not the Chrome extension, you just go to the URL let me post it on the chat. You just go there. For the Chrome extension, what you need to do, you need to go to the Chrome Web Store. You can do it through your Chrome Manage Extensions menu here, and just go and find more things in the Chrome Web Store. In the Chrome Web Store, you can search for Vendoroo, and then just install it from here. In a few seconds, it will just start, and then you can start browsing through your PMS and use it. Okay, more questions. Does the tenant get to see the status tracker, Brian? Great question. For now, this is only available to the PM, right? But that's an interesting question. Can we improve the tenant experience, seeing what's going on? This is something that we're working on, but not for now yet. How are tenants and vendors going to update this info? Do they have an app? No, that's a great question, Anna. So what you see here is the work of the RU, the AI, and its human assistants. So everything that is done behind the scenes to move the work order forward is done by the AI, and the same way it was done before the app. The new thing here is that we're able to show you and give you visibility to everything that's going on, right? So that is letting you the opportunity to make smarter decisions, faster decisions, and also course correct the AI if needed and give it instructions, right? So you can also submit action requests and other things like new information into the chat to affect the way the AI moves this work order forward. Okay, can you show us how to search and by address and work order? Sure. So in the app, you can search for now, you can search by work order number, you can search by the zip code or any part of the address, or even by the name of the tenant, right? So if you want, you can search, let's do 29418. And we're going to see the work orders around this zip code. Okay, so you can do that.
And then on the bottom there, just so everybody sees, like if you had a recent chat that you were doing or a communication, you just want to get caught up on that same page there down at the bottom. If Dotan, if you go back to this, the search, the search part, if you look down here, you can see recent chats or threads that you've been in. So you can just pick right back up from there as well too. If you were working on a work order 10 minutes ago, you can just jump right back into it. Kind of a little cool feature there.
And to your point, David,
bring Brian in and just kind of show him some of his experiences while we have him here today.
You want to bring who?
Or excuse me, Bill. I'm sorry. I'm reading Brian his message in my head as I'm talking.
Yeah, let's bring Bill on stage. Okay.
Hello. I don't know if you guys are putting me on camera or not, so I just I see it that I'm active, but yeah, playing around with this, like the first thing I noticed as soon as I opened it up was, I always talk about I like to have one-stop shop vendors. What this extension is it became a one-stop shop for me as far as information. And I'll be honest, I was disappointed when it disappeared from me from the testing mode, but it gave me a great idea as far as what we can do moving forward, because as things stand now, my PMs are managing their own unit turns and having to communicate based off of what the vendors are telling them and what information gets loaded into AppFolio for them. But with this, I'm going to test it first, but it seems like I can actually have Vendoroo manage the unit turn at this point, and they'll be able to keep everything in one spot, communicate with the owners about what's coming up, what they're finding, and what the progress is. So that way, we're not having to jump back and forth between screens to be able to create this information for the pertinent people.
And Bill, first of all, thanks for being one of our first users. You were part of the beta and gave us feedback on this before we launched it. So thanks a lot. That was super helpful, as always, from you. So, yeah, tell us what your team was thinking about it. Like, what did the new Chrome extension in the app? What did it enable for them that they couldn't do before and are able now, or change their speed or the way they work?
So right now we're looking at, one work order for a property, and all the information, like if we didn't have the extension, we would have to go through and basically the same thing that David said at the beginning of it, was we would have to parse through all the information here to be able to get back to this owner, Mr. Garby, about what's going on and what needs to happen. But you're going to have to read through notes. You're going to have to pick up the phone and call the vendor. I believe this one's assigned to Carter's Handyman Service. We'd have to call Ralph and talk to Ralph, and then we'd have to call the tenant and find out what's going on with the tenant. With the new extension, I don't have to do any of that. I can find all that information in the extension to be able to say, okay, looks like Ralph reached out to the tenant and they haven't gotten back to him yet. I'm going to go ahead and reach out to the tenant on behalf of Ralph and say, hey, I need you to respond back to them and say, please contact the vendor if you want this issue addressed. Otherwise, we're going to cancel the work order because you logged it as an issue, but now you're not wanting to be a part of the process. And that's the one thing with every part of the work order is, if you log it, you need to be part of the process. And this will pinpoint where in the process we're being held up, so that way we can get our work orders completed within a week or less.
Is there anything that I haven't shown, Bill, that you think I should still show? I think maybe as I'm looking through this specific deep dive here, one thing that is for the first time becoming very clear is vendor selection, right? Sometimes you know that the AI is doing something. Your AI teammates are smart. They are aware. You train your AI teammates with a lot of customization on which vendors to choose, what are the different vendors, what are the workflows, how to troubleshoot, all of those stuff you taught your RU teammates. And now for the first time, you're able to see what was the decision, like how the decision was made. What was the reason? What was the logic, right? So we see why this vendor was selected. Everything, this is basically the AI telling you, okay, that's what I did here. And then this is really opening up, it opens up to a whole new set of opportunities, because now you see what's going on and you can fix stuff, you can correct. It's never going to be 100%, right? You train it, but there's always going to be a new scenario that you didn't think about it, or you didn't train the RU about, and you see it for the first time here, and then you realize, oh, I need to train the RU on this stuff, right? So this is accelerating the training, and there's also
the visibility that we were talking about, right? To be able to really connect you with, your AI teammate, how's it's thinking, what's it's doing, what's its next step, how it's performing, that relationship that we've always had with our maintenance coordinators in times past. And the cool thing at the very bottom is, like, somebody had mentioned before, are these like, default? No, this is actually what your company has established as your processes, your flows, and your SLAs. And you can see down here the guidelines, right? What was it using as the guidelines that it was considering when it was making the decisions about this? And you're looking at it and you're like, oh, wait, we need to make an update to our policy, or we need to make an update to a guideline. So that real visibility. So, I think a big push that you're going to be seeing is that transparency of what the behavior of your teammates doing, in a way that, before, in human-led maintenance coordinators, sometimes we had the difficult decision understanding what was the reasonings behind everything. And so this your AI maintenance coordinator was constantly reporting to you across the board. So Dotan, if we can, real quick, I see a couple of messages in here, just wanting to go ahead and repost out the URL. And some people are like, how do I get this onto my phone? So with the phone, it's a friendly mobile app, right? So you can download it and add it to your home base, as a web link app. Just definitely, Brian, absolutely gold for sure. Being able to dive in instantly at the palm of your hands. How many times have we said, like, you can even ask it here. I ask it all the time. Hey, turn this summary into an email for me that I can send to my owner, right? And it creates a whole email for me instantly about the whole workflow that I could have to the owner. Or you being not caught when an owner calls you and you're like, I don't know anything that's going on with that work order. I have to get back to you. Like, we're beyond that in the level of customer service at our owners now, where you can just be like, yeah, hold on 1 second, and you have all the information that you need right at your fingertips to be able to have that meaningful conversation with your owner right there. Yeah, great spot.
Cool. Bill, first of all, Bill, thanks you so much. I'm going to show.
Yeah, I have one
Yeah.
other thing, based off of just what we read on this particular work order. When we were talking about the vendor communication, like that's something that like I try to be extremely active in with, the process that the AI went through. So they went to SC Total, which I can tell you is listed as my number one handy person. And then Low Tide is listed as number two, and Carter's is listed as number three. Well, or it might be reversed. Carter's might be number two with Low Tide as number three. But I can tell you within that, like that tells me that I need to go into SC Total's profile and list out some more guidelines for them as far as things that they can and cannot handle. So this is like a great way to speed up the process on our end, where we can dial in what vendors, like if they don't like dealing with bathtubs. I know SC Total doesn't like dealing with electrical, so I've already got that in their notes to don't assign them anything that involves electricity. But knowing that information that they declined this bathtub repair, I can now go back in and say, they're probably not going to be good for this either. So I can eliminate that step and speed the process up that much faster for the next time I have this issue.
Bill, you're so spot on, right? Because what we're after, everyone, right? If we can provide more visibility into where the breakdowns are happening inside of work orders, okay? As we all know, our goal, right, is we're seeing across the board clients hitting 85, 90, 95% automation. Today, everybody will soon be getting an email too that gamification is now live, right? Where you're going to be able to see, you probably have seen us post about or demo your rate of your work order automation and the decisions and things that your team members are making that may be impacting automation or what's preventing it. And then at the bottom, it will actually show everybody, how do you rank with the other AI maintenance coordinators that are being deployed in your specific region, right? And that's some really cool stuff to see. You see two people that are at 100% and you're at 30%, and you're asking yourself, well, why? What's going on? What's the difference here? And so this type of data that's coming in is directly linked to what you just talked about, Bill, is these types of insights, understanding why is a work order breaking down? Why is a vendor stopping something? So yeah, very, very, very astute observation. Thanks for bringing that up.
Of course.
Right. So thank you very much, Bill. We're going to show a couple more things before we want to still show you what's coming up, because this is just still work in progress. We always have more stuff to come and more surprises. But before we go, one thing, I'm trying to find that nice example that I had here, where here it is. If there was a phone call made by the RU to your resident or to a vendor, in many cases it's an emergency situation, you can listen to it through here. Now I'm not sharing the sound, you won't be able to hear, but you can see the full transcript. So it's all here. You can read the full transcript. There's nothing hidden. You don't need to look for stuff. You don't need to listen for 2.5 minutes. You can just read through and know what was going on. So this is all available here as well. One more thing is the escalations. So escalations are when the RU needs your input or guidance to move forward. It shows up here. In the past, you could only see it through emails or through the chat, but now you have a new UI, a new interface to interact with your escalations, and you can respond directly from here, or you can click this button and actually see what this is about, right? And click this button to open it in your PMS. So it takes you there, and you can then see what was going on with this work order, and then you can see that the escalation is waiting for you on the home screen of the app, and you can respond directly from here. So the whole escalation management is making it faster to handle. That's what we had in mind, to really make it faster for you. But one more thing is that people were asking for is this one. If you scroll down to the bottom of your pending escalations, you have access to your resolved escalations. You can revisit the escalations that you resolved in the past if you just want to make sure that they were submitted correctly, or what was your response. It's all here, available for you, full history of all your past resolutions for escalations. David, is there any other question in the chat that we kind of missed? Or do you want to go to the...
I'm asking, people are just asking a couple of questions, how they get phone numbers connected. We had Hussein ask that. I'm going to get him connected with his account manager. Let's see. Kevin was late to the webinar. Did you have to say that this extension works similarly with Rent Manager? Yep, it sits over all the PMS systems that we're currently activating with, as well as has a very friendly mobile feature for your people that are on the road or yourself. You know, especially if you're ever sitting there on the weekend and somebody gives you a phone call and you need to like address something, to have this type of information at your fingertips. Just open it up, search it real quick, drop it in, get all this information here. You know, now your AI maintenance coordinator is truly on call for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as far as it's providing information to you. Brian,
all right.
on late was explaining how to get the extension installed. Yeah, we'll post the Dotan.
Let me put the link directly to this direct one. So the link is going to be here as well for the extension. So it's the same link regardless of which PMS you use. And by the way, the extension works independently as well. So even if you're not on the PMS and you just want to have it to your right side of the screen, you can always just open it from your extensions panel of Chrome, and it will be there. And then you can use the menu to find the work order that you want to take a look at. So it's always there for you. And any other questions there? Meanwhile, please, everyone, there is a feedback button here. It's very important for us. It's probably the last thing that you're going to see, but it is there. And if you're seeing something weird, something that needs to be improved, please click the feedback button, give us a quick feedback. It really takes 10 seconds, and we know exactly what you're looking at when you're submitting that. So you don't need to give us too much details. Just tell us what's wrong, and so we can work on fixing it. It's the fastest way, directly from what you're looking at. You don't have to email us or give us a call. Just quickly use this feedback button here. All right. So what's coming next?
So hold on real quick, Dotan, 2 questions. Let's see here. John just said, I have a maintenance company as a sister company. Can they use this independently without a property management software?
Yep. All they need is you just need to give them a user under your Vendoroo account. If you need help with that, just ask your account manager at Vendoroo and they'll help out with that. And that's it. They get access. What else do we have there? Angele, I have the app open in a portfolio. I have a work order open. I went to chat to give it instruction. The AI asked me for the work order number. I wonder if that happened now. If that happened now, that's not the expected behavior. So please use the feedback and let us know so we can fix it. But overall, it should know. The example I'm showing you on the screen right now, I was just asking it a question. It knows exactly which work order I'm looking at. So it should work. If there's any problem, please let us know so we can fix it. I think the last thing I want to show you is this. So really, okay. So what's coming next? So in the next few weeks, we're going to add a lot of value to the app and the extension and the chat. One thing that's coming is a desktop version and a tablet version, so you can use it in a bigger layout mode and have all the control on desktop as a complete page. We are adding all the back and forth communication with the property management team that's currently not showing in the app. All your requests, every time that you tag Vendoroo and in a note or send an email about a work order, that is going to be added to the conversation that you're seeing in the app very soon. We're adding on-demand insights. So I don't know if any of you is seeing these incredible insight emails that you get weekly on a Monday. Those are showing you tenants that might be frustrated, and they're showing you work orders that are delayed and vendor performance. Now, very soon, you will be able to use the chat to get on-demand insights, ask questions about your top performing vendors or any tenants that need attention. That's going to be available through the chat very soon. And we're also going to add the logic and reasoning to our communication, to the root communication with the tenant and the vendor. So every time you will go through the communication log and see the messages that the root sent the tenant, you will have a way to understand the logic. Why did the AI decide to send that? Why did it decide to troubleshoot it that way? So everything will be there. And then if you see something that doesn't make sense, that needs extra training to the root, you will have a lot of insights there to learn from. And one more thing that's coming to the chat very soon is a better way to provide a chat with context. So every time that you have additional information about the work order, not just a request or an instruction, but just an information that needs that the room needs to properly handle the next stage, you would be able to just type to the chat in the app or the extension, and the chat will inject it into the work order, and it will be aware of this. So instead of going through the notes or sending an email, everything you will be able to do with the chat without back and forth. And something that many of you have been asking for since this was available to mobile is a way to just talk to it and listen back. That's coming soon as well. And so that will be a game changer for when you are on the drive or on the go, and you just want to talk to it and listen back instead of typing. That's coming very soon as well.
So we do have a great question from Erica. So Erica, yes, the true value of the Roo app is really for tier 2 and tier 3 clients because of the amount of data, right, that it's capturing through all the maintenance communications and all that coordination. However, we do have plans to offer out some value for tier 1 clients who are just using for the triage and the phone to also provide some visibility into those communications as well. But right now, this is for tier 2 and tier 3 clients. If you're on direct or command, those that were handling communications through the entire life cycle of the work order for. So yeah, great question. Thank you for allowing us to clarify that. All right. Very cool. Yeah, we're excited for everybody. Please dive in, play around with it, give its feedback. This is just V1 of a tool that we're super excited about. As you can see, there's a lot of really other cool things that are coming to be asked to ask on-demand insights. We have a lot of insights that are coming. That's a big push you'll be seeing here over this next couple of weeks that we're really excited about. So we continue to try to level up the experience. We listen to your feedback intently. We study every single conversation that comes in, and we're always trying to release products that are helping everybody adopt your AI teammate, help have better connectivity, better visibility, and at the end of the day, getting everybody to that 5% club, which means 95% worker automation. We're seeing it across the board. If you're not there yet, we're jumping with our AI coaches and help you get there. And we really appreciate all your support. This has been a great ride. And sometimes I feel, Dotan, I'm going to feel the same. Like I always feel like when we launch something, we're just starting at the beginning, because that's like, it's so exciting. Like, it's like, you know, we got so many cool products that are coming out. We got this awesome estimate feature that's coming out here soon. You know, we're working on intelligent vendor routing. There's so many cool things that are coming down the pipeline that will be a much different product here in the next couple of weeks. So any final questions on that, Dotan? Thanks for having us here today and doing a great job showcasing the product. Bill, thanks for jumping in and sharing your view on this, and for everybody asking your questions. And I think we're just coming up here at the end of time. And I don't know, Dotan, unless you have anything else to say.
Yeah, I just added my email, and I will add David's email as well. And if you guys have anything you want to email us about, ask, feel free to be in touch. And thanks, Bill. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy playing around with it, but really get a lot of value from it. And please let us know how we can make it even better for you. That's all we care about. So enjoy it, and see you next time. Thank you very much.